Hey everyone, I'm JP, and this is Good Talk HQ. Thanks for checking out the video. In today's episode, we'll take a look at some great eShop deals that you can pick up right now. It's another amazing week of deals, and the Switch has quickly become my go-to system to find amazing games that cost next to nothing to play. If you're new here, we cover Nintendo Switch content every week, and we do live streams with our viewers so we can all hang out and play some video games. If you enjoyed the video, or we help you save a few dollars, please consider subscribing to become part of our extended family. We'd love to welcome you. And if you've been here before, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us once again today. We appreciate you all, and we're thankful for the love and support you continue to show us. We hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, we'll start the list with Broforce. This is a 2D run-and-gun shooter with gorgeous 16-bit retro graphics from publisher Devolver Digital, which is one of the best in our opinion. The game features both local and online multiplayer action as well, so it's a great game to play with some buddies or with your son like myself. Now this is a love letter to classic action cinema from the 80s and has a simple premise. Each level you're tasked with blasting your way through the challenging but fair obstacles and baddies as you make your way to the chopper. The levels themselves are nearly fully destructible and adds a unique level of freedom to how you complete each mission. One really cool feature they added was the level editor, so you can construct your own levels and share them online for others to enjoy. This is a great value, and right now it's 75% off, down to just $374 until August 12th, an all-time low. Alright, next we have Child of Light. This is a 2D action RPG from Ubisoft, and this time it's available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op, offering a story that will last players roughly 10 to 15 hours to complete. In this one, players assume the role of a young princess on her journey to save her kingdom and, even more importantly, save her dying father. The game features a turn-based combat system and several different upgrade paths to take, adding to the replayability of the game big time. Along the way, you'll also uncover powerful gems that will be used to unlock new abilities and upgrades to your character as well. This game looks gorgeous on the Switch, and it's definitely worth checking out while on sale until August 12th. It's currently marked down again 75% to just $4.99. Alright, next we have Dogurai. This is a single-player 2D platformer from Cubite Interactive with a main campaign that will last roughly 3 or 4 hours. Now this is a retro-style game with animal-like characters and Game Boy-style graphics, complete with the green and black screen. We play as Bones, a samurai dog, and will fight through 8 levels with powerful bosses at the end of each stage. These stages include urban cities, the sewers, military factories, and more. Fans of old-school platformers from the early 90s should feel right at home with this one. Dogurai is currently on sale for just $1.99 until August 20th, marked down 60%. Be sure to check it out. Alright, next we have Door Kickers Action Squad. This is a 2D action platformer from Kill House Games with a main story that should last roughly 15 to 20 hours, and it's available for 1 or 2 players both online or offline. In this one, players will have to rescue hostages, disarm bombs, and save the day in this old-school side-scroller. Choose your gear and get right into the action. You can pick between 6 playable characters and you'll blast your way through more than 80 levels with amazing retro graphics and sound. There's item and gear upgrades, multiple game modes and difficulty settings. And of course, the addition of couch co-op is always welcome, and this game is a great value, so make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 70% to an all-time low of just $4.49. Alright, next we have Guacamelee, the Super Turbo Championship Edition. This is another 2D action platformer, this time from Drinkbox Studios, and it offers roughly 10 to 15 hours of main story gameplay, and it's available for up to 4 players in local couch co-op. This is a Metroidvania-style platformer set in a magical world inspired by traditional Mexican culture and folklore. In Guacamelee, players will traverse densely filled towns, dark forests, and fiery volcanoes in this challenging, action-packed game. One of the best features for us, again, was of course the couch co-op, which is available the entire game. The game had us hooked the entire time, start to finish, and this is one of our personal favorites again at the channel. If you're interested in this one, it's at an all-time low until August 12th, marked down 75% to just $374. Alright, next we have Iron Crypticle. This is an arcade-style action-adventure game for up to 4 players in local co-op and offers unlimited hours of fun for the whole family. This is a top-down dungeon crawler with an amazing retro look and sound. Players assume the role of a few of the washed-up knights as part of the king's royal army. His precious treasure has been stolen, and it's up to us to descend into the ancient crypts below the palace to recover it. Now this is an awesome twin-stick shooter with a medieval theme featuring item upgrades, secret unlockables, an experience system, and some creative boss battles. My only complaint or wish is that more of these games that feature 4-player couch co-op would start to incorporate more online modes in them as well. These games are a lot of fun and that will make them even better. If you're interested in Iron Crypticle, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends again on August 12th. It's currently marked down 70% to an all-time low of just $2.99. Alright, next we have Kamiko. This is one of the original eShop games that got me hooked in. It's a single-player top-down action game from Fly High Works, and while the story is only a couple hours long, maybe 2 or 3, it's a fantastic game and I enjoyed it the whole way through. Players take control of a group of young priestesses called Kamiko and battle against demons while solving puzzles and working your way through each of the stages. In each one of the stages, you'll come to these magical gates that block your progress. You'll have to find your way to break through all of these seals and then prepare to face the final boss. Again, this game is a really fun time even if it's short-lived. If you're interested in Kamiko, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 19th. It's currently marked down 50% to just $2.49. Mark of the Ninja Remastered. This is a single-player outing from Clay Entertainment, the same folks that gave us the survival sim Don't Starve, and can take over 15 hours to wrap up. Now this is a 2D stealth platformer with excellent controls, smooth animation, and a great soundtrack. The story is a bit lacking, but the gameplay more than makes up for it. The kills are brutal and the gameplay is engaging. I really like the simple yet extremely satisfying stealth system in place, and one of the coolest features are the assassinations, which you can pull off if you sneak up on someone. Make sure to grab up Mark of the Ninja for $4.99, again down 75% from the normal $20 until August 12th. Yoku's Island Express. This is a single-player 2D puzzle platformer from Team 17 with the main story that will last roughly 8 to 10 hours. This is an extremely charming game where players will assume the role of the island's new postmaster and must make sure to deliver everyone's mail on time. Problem is, the island is inhabited by scary monsters and several other obstacles to overcome. The game blends the classic platforming adventure that we love with unique pinball mechanics. It really is a sleeper game as it just looks like another pinball game, but there's so much more to it. The sound and artwork are perfect, the story is emotional and gripping. Please make sure to give this one a look before the sale ends on August 12th. Right now it's marked down 75% to just $4.99. Alright, next up we have Ageless. This is another single-player retro platformer once again from Team 17, and it also has a unique feature to how the game plays out. In Ageless, you have the ability to alter the age of the plants and animals, which will come in handy as you try to solve many of the game's puzzles. This one can make your brain hurt from time to time as you try to figure out what to do next, but the sound and graphics are once again top-notch. The game is all about facing your inner demons as you assume the role of Kiara and forge your way through the unknown world. If you're looking for a solid 2D platformer with some unique flair, make sure to pick this one up before the sale ends on August 12th. Again, it's just $4.99, which is a 67% discount. Bot Vice. This is a single-player arcade-style shooter from DYA Games with a small download size under 200 megabytes and offers players roughly 5 to 6 hours of main story gameplay, but with the tough nature and the high score-based system, you'll likely spend at least double that with this one. The story follows a young protagonist in her fight against a criminal organization called the Wildbots, and the game features some absolutely intense shooting action. Each stage introduces new enemies, new bosses, and keeps the game feeling fresh and exciting. There are 3 difficulty settings, including a rookie mode for new players or perhaps younger players you're introducing to the Switch. The pixel art and 90s synth style soundtrack are top notch in this game and it's absolutely worth picking up while on sale. If you're interested, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 19th, as it's currently marked down 80% to an all-time low of just $1.99, one of our favorites. Mable and the Wood. This is a single-player 2D platformer from Graffiti Games with a download size of 600 megabytes and a main story that will last roughly 4 to 5 hours. The story centers around Mable, a young protagonist whom has been resurrected by an ancient cult to save a dying world. It's said that you'll fulfill a prophecy by hunting down these giant beasts and using their forms to save the world. Now the premise of the game is unique, and it even goes a step further by giving players the freedom to choose if they want to eradicate the darkness or succumb to it, which basically just means that they're allowed to show mercy to the people they meet, or they can kill almost anyone in the game. One thing to note is it will take a little bit of getting used to the limited mobility, as the sword that Mable carries around is far too heavy for her, but they added these awesome transformations into the game. If you're interested in this one, you'll be able to get it on sale until August 12th for just $374, marked down 75%. Mega Strike. This is a single-player 2D platform shooter from Dogurai with a download size of under 200 megabytes and a main story that will last players roughly 5 to 6 hours. This is another one of our personal favorites at the channel, and we even played it live the last time it was on sale. This is a huge open world featuring multiple playable characters. players will face off against Dr. Omega and his mutant army. You'll get to explore the vast interconnected world with 7 unique areas as you search for treasures to buy upgrades. The game features some amazing controls, graphics, and sound as well. This game is a great time overall, and one particular highlight were the boss battles. They were challenging, unique, and the dialogue was often funny. So if you still haven't picked up Omega Strike, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently just $4.49, which is 70% discount. Don't Starve, the Nintendo Switch Edition. This is a single-player survival adventure game from Klei Entertainment and offers hours and hours of addictive gameplay. This is a tough survival game that at first glance can seem pretty pointless, as the game doesn't offer much in the way of hand-holding or guidance of any kind. Instead, it leaves it up to the player to use their own wit and try to figure out what to do each step of the way. You'll start off by exploring and searching for food and a source of light to last through the first couple nights. From there, you're meant to start exploring and just find out things as you go. After you spend a little time with the game though, you start to realize how things work and you can easily get lost in this world for hours and hours. If you're a fan of survival sims, make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on August 12th. Right now it's just $4.99, marked down 75%. Kero Blaster. This is a single-player 2D shooter from publisher Playism with a main story that will last roughly 5 to 6 hours. This game features a unique pixel art aesthetic and some awesome platforming fun. It reminds me of those old games you would play back on floppy disk on retro computers, which initially caught my attention. You play as a walking frog with the task of fending off those that would seek to destroy the company you work for. When you start off, you're pretty weak and your gear is pretty terrible, but as you play and you die, which will happen a lot, you'll start to save up money and eventually you can go shopping for upgrades to both your health and your gear. This will allow you to mow down those tough enemies with ease next time. This is a cool game and has a unique look. It also is pretty fun to play, so if you're interested, make sure to check it out before August 12th, marked down 60% to just $3.99. Alright, next up we have Overcooked, the Special Edition. This is a party-style multiplayer game from Team 17, offering hours of chaotic fun for the whole family. Unfortunately, it's limited to just local co-op. The sequel added online play, but it's a bit outside of the $5 range, but it is on sale, so make sure to check it out as well. Anyway, but in the special edition of the original, you'll get all of the kitchens from the main game as well as both expansions, The Lost Morsel and Festive Seasoning, making it a great value when you can find it on sale. In the game, the Onion Kingdom is in danger and only the finest cooking can save it. You'll have to work together through a variety of cruel and punishing kitchens on a quest to become master chefs. If you want a fun and sometimes infuriatingly good time, make sure to check out Overcooked Special Edition before the sale ends on August 12th, marked down 75% for just $4.99. Alright, next up we have Planet Alpha. This is a single-player 2D platformer, once again from Team 17, this time offering players roughly 5 to 6 hours of main story gameplay. This game features some of the most stunning visuals on the Switch. The worlds are unique and strange and they all feel alive. In fact, it's part of the entire experience. The story going on in the world around you is fantastic and it affects and changes the stages as you progress. Players are marooned on an alien planet pursued by relentless enemies. The game has a cool day and night cycle and eventually players will learn to harness this power to alter time and use it to your advantage along your journey. This is a highly underrated platformer in my opinion and worth at least looking into. While on sale until August 12th for just $3.99, we have the Escapists 2, which is part of the series sale as well. This is a cool retro RPG with a top-down view and available for 1 or 2 players locally or 2 to 4 players online. The game was published by Team 17 and offers more than 30 hours of gameplay. The basic premise of the game is that you're a prisoner and you can't stop thinking of a way to escape. You have to study guard patterns, learn NPC routines, and attend daily events in order to plan your escape while avoiding suspicion. This is another game that's easy to get lost in, and it even offers character customization so you can add some flair and uniqueness to the game. This one's fun solo, but it's even more fun with a group of friends. But make sure you check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. Right now it's marked down to just $4.99, which is again a 75% discount. Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King. This is a single-player top-down adventure from FDG Entertainment with a main story that will last players roughly 9 or 10 hours. This game was heavily inspired by the 16-bit Zelda titles and has no problem showing it. In fact, the game starts off with 2 young children being told a story of Link and Zelda when they decide they want to hear a new story, and that's when our adventure begins. This is a huge open world with cool enemies to see, an amazing story, upgrades and unlockables everywhere, and if you played those old Zelda titles, you'll feel right at home with this one. A lot of the same mechanics carry over here almost identically, so if you're interested, make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on August 12th. Right now it's just $3.74, marked down 75% to an all-time low. the Way Remastered. This is a single-player, retro puzzle platform style game with a main story that should last players roughly 7 to 8 hours. The story centers around a member of the Space Explorers team who's lost his wife, but he's unable to accept her death. During an expedition, he discovers that there may be a way to revive her, and thus he sets out on a journey to seek this ancient power. This is truly a story-driven game with amazing pixel art graphics and a custom soundtrack made to immerse you into the story. This version added voiceovers, improved the graphics, added HD rumble, and even made some tweaks to the level design to make it a little bit more enjoyable to play. Make sure to give this one a look while it's on sale until August 13th, marked down 87% to just $1.99. Savage Halloween. This is an old school NES style platform shooter from Cubite Interactive and is available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op and offers a story that would take players roughly 5 to 6 hours to complete. The game is pretty tough though, so it may take a little longer. Savage Halloween is a blast to play and has great controls, amazing sound, and top-notch pixel art graphics as well. You get to choose between 3 playable characters and some cosmetic variations as well. It has 8-way directional shooting, epic boss battles, level variation, and so much more. Plus, it's all Halloween themed, so if you're into that sort of thing, there's that. To top it all off, the story is actually pretty funny too, so this is a great value. Please make sure to give it a look before the sale ends on August 6th. Right now it's marked down 50% to just $2.49. Alright, next up we have Sheltered. This is a single player strategy RPG once again from Team 17 and offers more than 10 hours of gameplay. This version includes the base game and the Surrounded in Stasis DLC content as well. Players will battle claustrophobia, radiation, and mental exhaustion as you try to turn this cold underground shelter into a warm and safe home. You'll have to defend the shelter and send people out into the wasteland to gather the much needed supplies. There are even some dialogue choices that can alter the gameplay. This really is a unique game and a great value. Right now you can get it on sale until August 12th, marked down 75% to just $3.74. Alright, next up we have Slayin 2. This is a 2D retro action RPG from publisher FDG Entertainment, available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op. And it offers a main story that will last players roughly 5 to 10 hours. Now this is a wave-based RPG where players will face endless hordes of enemies with one of the different playable characters. Some of them have strong focus and melee, while others prefer to stay at range and shoot from a distance. There are 8 playable characters total to choose from. There's drop-in local co-op, there's a story and arcade mode, dozens of unique areas, each with their own boss. So there's a lot of value here. You can either battle it out solo or with a friend to save up as much money as you can. If you're interested in Slayin 2, it's on sale until August 12th. Alright folks, here are some more games to consider while you're on the eShop, all that are under $5. Then we'll move into part B, which are the games at any price, as long as they're on sale. Darksiders Genesis. This is a continuation of the Darksiders story. This time they opted for an isometric view rather than an over-the-shoulder view, and they added multiplayer to the game as well. You'll be able to play solo or with 2 players in both online or offline modes. The game will take up roughly 10 gigabytes on your SD card and offers more than 20 hours of gameplay. The story introduces the final horseman, Strife, and sees players battling their way through hell and back with guns blazing and swords swinging. Darksiders is one of my personal favorite franchises, and this game is one of the best in the genre. Please make sure to check out Genesis as well as the rest of the series, as they're all currently on sale. But for Genesis, you'll be able to get it while on sale until August 12th for just $17.99, which is a 55% discount. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. This is a single-player action RPG from Interplay with a download size of 4 gigabytes and a main story that should last players roughly 15 to 20 hours. The game is shown from a top-down view with amazing 3D graphics. The game allowed us to explore the world of Baldur's Gate as never before, as it throws you into an epic Dungeons and Dragons type adventure filled with intricate puzzles, amazing action, and a deep narrative. Players will have to master their combat skills in both weapons and spells as they face off against the ultimate evil. The game still holds up today and looks and runs great on the Switch. If you're looking at revisiting or diving in for the first time, make sure to check this one out while it's on sale before August 12th. It's currently marked down 20% to an all-time low of just $23.99. HYPERCHARGE Unboxed. This is a multiplayer FPS from Digital Cyber Cherries with a download size of 6 gigabytes and offers unlimited hours of chaotic fun. You get to play as an action hero, and your task is to prevent the hypercore from being destroyed. The game features both co-op and head-to-head action for up to 8 players online and 4-way split screen locally. There are multiple game modes, multiple difficulty settings, and the best of all, no pay to win whatsoever. As you play through, you'll be able to earn XP and gradually even be able to upgrade your heroes with unique skins and weapons. This was another game that was recommended to us by ZachGhost1 as a top tier FPS on the Switch, and I couldn't agree more. If you're interested in HYPERCHARGE Unboxed, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 30% to an all-time low of just $13.99. Battle Chasers Night War. This is a single-player action RPG from THQ Nordic with a download size of 2.6 GB and a main story that should last players more than 40 hours to wrap up. Now this is an RPG featuring deep dungeon diving, turn-based combat, and a rich story which encourages exploration. You'll have a huge open world to explore with hidden caves and dungeons full of secrets, and these are littered throughout. One really cool feature is that you'll have to learn to master each character's special skills in order to complete some of the random dungeons that you'll encounter along the way. Fans of the comic will feel right at home as you get to form a party of 3 from the 6 playable characters, and they're all from the comics that were released back in the 90s. So if you're interested in this one, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 70% to just $11.99. Blue Fire. This is a single-player 3D action platformer from Graffiti Games with a download size of roughly 4 gigs and a main story that will last players about 15 hours or so to wrap up. Blue Fire's world is full of platforming challenges, quests to find, collectibles, and more. It features a truly dark and immersive world with several distinct areas to explore. There are loads of secrets and collectibles to find, tough enemies with unique combat patterns, and some of the coolest boss fights that I've played in a while. If you're looking for a solid 3D style adventure game, make sure to give Blue Fire some consideration before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 40% to just $11.99. Creature in the Well. This is a single-player 3D action-adventure game from Flight School Studios with a download size of 1 GB and a main story that will take players roughly 5 to 6 hours to wrap up. Now this game is a hack-and-slash style game with pinball mechanics added into the mix to change things up a bit. The game is shown from a top-down view, and at its core it's a dungeon crawler, but with the dimension of depth added in. Players will have to use their sword to charge up these energy orbs, and then they'll bounce them around the room to activate different items and complete puzzles as they work their way through the tough dungeons. Speaking of dungeons, there are 8 total, each with unique themes, unlockables, and secrets to uncover, and you can even find some nasty weapon upgrades as well. So if you're interested, make sure to check this one out before August 19th while it's on sale for just $7.49, which is a 50% discount and an all-time low. Moonlighter, the Complete Edition. This is a single-player action RPG from 11-Bit Studios with a download size of 2 GB and a main story that will last more than 20 hours. The game follows a young man named Will, an adventurous shopkeeper that dreams of becoming a hero one day. After the discovery of ancient gates that allow people to travel to different realms and seek treasures beyond their wildest dreams, Will sees his call to action. The game features an addictive gameplay loop of searching through the dungeons for treasures that you'll then bring back to your shop to sell each day. In the Complete Edition, you'll get the base game, of course, as well as the Between Dimensions expansion, which added new bosses, new enemies, and more. This is a great value at its current sale price of just $7.24. It's a 75% discount, and that's available until August 18th. This is a new all-time low, so be sure to check it out. Going Under. This is a single-player dungeon crawler with a comedic twist from publisher Team 17 and offers players around 10 hours of main story gameplay. Now this is a game with an amazing art style, and at first glance it might seem like the only thing going for it, but this is a great game with witty writing and a fun gameplay loop. The story sees players assuming the role of a lowly intern at a new tech company, and your first job is to explore the dungeons below the building to protect your company campus. The gameplay is addictive and tough enough for hardcore fans of the genre. If you're interested in this one, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 50% to just $9.99. Aragami, the Shadow Edition. This is a 3D stealth style action game from Merge Games and offers players roughly 10 to 12 hours of main story gameplay. Players will assume the role of an undead assassin, and as such you have the power to control the shadows. This mechanic will be used in combination with other abilities to make your way through each level. The Shadow Edition includes the base game and the prequel DLC Nightfall as well, which added new characters and new shadow powers to master. This is a great value when on sale, and right now it's at an all-time low. You can pick up Aragami for just $11.99 until August 12th, marked down 60%. Next up, we have Children of Morta. This is an action RPG from publisher 11-Bit Studios and offers a main story that can last more than 20 hours, and the game is available for 1 to 2 players offline. This is a story of a valiant family standing together while the world around them is being devoured by darkness. The game is shown from a top-down view and features some amazing pixel art graphics. You'll have 7 playable characters, each member of the family, and they all play vastly different from one another. There are upgrades to be found and item modifiers between each run, and they even plan to add online modes in the future. So if you're looking for a great deal this week, Children of Morta might be one of the best values right now, and it's on sale until August 14th for just $8.79, marked down 60% to an all-time low. Next we have Crysis Remastered. This is a single-player FPS from Crytek, but probably needs no introduction. This game was at one point the benchmark for elite gamers to assert their PC prowess to the rest of us console gamers. Can the Switch run Crysis? Well, yes it can, and it can do it well. What begins as a simple rescue mission becomes a battleground for a new war as aliens begin their invasion. Players will be armed with their nanosuit and some awesome firepower as we seek to extinguish the swarm. This is a huge sandbox-style FPS with some amazing visuals that hold up well on the Switch and some intense gameplay. If you still haven't played Crysis, make sure to check it out. The remastered version is on sale until August 17th, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. This is a single-player 2D platformer from FDG Entertainment and offers more than 20 hours of main story gameplay. The game features gorgeous hand-drawn animations and one of the best soundtracks on the list. One of the most unique aspects of gameplay is your ability to transform into one of the 6 forms, each with their own unique playstyle and skill sets. This will greatly affect how you tackle each obstacle in the level and as you progress through. Honestly, if you like platformers and you haven't played this one yet, it's absolutely worth the sale price, and right now it's marked down to just $15.99, which is 60% off until August 12th. Don't miss this one. Next we have Oceanhorn, Monster of the Uncharted Seas. This is another single-player adventure RPG from publisher FDG Entertainment. This one offers roughly 10 hours of main story gameplay and drew my attention immediately when I saw it years ago. This is a love letter to Zelda titles from the GameCube era, and many of the mechanics are almost identical to something like Wind Waker, which to me is a good thing. We play as a young boy who wakes up to find his father missing, and a letter has been left behind. From there, players will set off on a journey to find out the mysteries of the uncharted seas. Oceanhorn combines a gripping story with gorgeous visuals and exciting gameplay for an overall great time all around. I'll always try to recommend this title when it's on sale, because I've always enjoyed it personally. Right now you can get it on sale until August 12th for just $5.99, marked down 60%. Alright, next up, let's take a closer look at the sequel, as it happens to also be on sale, and since I love the first one so much, I wanted to show the sequel as well. Oceanhorn 2 Knights of the Lost Realm is once again another single-player outing from FDG Entertainment, this one lasting maybe 20 hours or so to complete. Now the sequel was definitely a bigger game for sure. It features more massive boss fights that'll put your skills to the test, as well as dozens of side quests to complete and puzzles to solve. Once again, the handcrafted graphics are top quality as well as the soundtrack. These are 2 of my favorite games to have on the Switch. If you're a fan of 3D platformers or a fan of the first game, make sure to catch this one before the sale ends on August 12th for just $22.49, marked down 25% to an all-time low. Alright, next up we have Raji, an Ancient Epic. This is a 2D action platformer set in ancient India. A young girl has been chosen to protect mankind against a demonic invasion. This is another gorgeous game with an emotional story that will last roughly 5 or 6 hours. Now the setting in this one is a particular highlight for us, as you don't see many games steep this heavily into ancient Indian lore and mythology. The soundtrack is another highlight as well, as it really brings you into the world. You have to master powerful weapons and different powers that will be given to you along the way by the gods in order to fend off the swarm and overcome the invasion. If you're interested in Raji, it's currently marked down to an all-time low of just $12.49, which is a 50% discount until August 15th. Next up we have Sparklite. This is an amazing action-adventure title with a top-down view and gorgeous pixel art graphics once again. The game was published by Merge Games and offers roughly 9 to 10 hours of gameplay for 1 to 2 players in local co-op. The game takes place in an ever-changing world and tells the story of the world's lifeblood, the Sparklite. The game features 5 unique biomes to explore, a crafting system which allows players to invent their own unique weapons, tough boss battles, and again an enthralling story. One thing to note, the co-op is more of an assistive multiplayer mode than a full-blown 2-player mode, so just keep that in mind, but I don't think most people will be buying this for the multiplayer, but I did want to mention it. If you're interested in Sparklite, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 60% to just $9.99, which again is an all-time low. Alright, next up we have the Survivalists. This is a party-style strategy game from publisher Team 17 and offers hours of fun for up to 4 players both in online and local co-op modes. The game sees players taking over an island that is ever-changing and full of wildlife. There's a day and night cycle, which will alter how things play out in the game. There's a wide variety of biomes to explore with tons of secrets to uncover. And one really cool feature is the ability to train the monkeys that live on the island to complete tasks or quests for you. I also love the crafting system, as I'm somewhat of a sucker for a good crafting system when it's implemented right into a game. So if you're looking for a fun online game to play with friends with charm and some solid gameplay, make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on August 12th, marked down 50% to just $12.49. Alright, next up we have Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. This is a massive 3D RPG from Falcom. It's also a solo adventure that will take players more than 50 hours to complete. The story is compelling, the combat is fun and engaging, and the graphics are great, all things considered, with it being on the Switch. Players awaken after a shipwreck and find ourselves stranded on an island along with a few other of the passengers. We must band together to form a community and defend ourselves from fearsome beasts and other dangers. The game also features on-the-fly party swapping and some unique sections which uncover the mystery of Dana. Dana is the blue-haired woman that you'll see throughout the story with an unknown motive. If you're a fan of good story-driven RPGs with tons of content, make sure to grab this one up before August 16th, marked down to an all-time low of just $19.99, which is a 67% discount. Alright, next up we have Yomawari, The Long Night Collection. This is a collection of 2 games from publisher NIS America and offers roughly 5 to 10 hours of gameplay combined. These are strange games with some disturbing visuals and eerie soundtracks. You'll traverse the haunting world of Yomawari Night Alone as a young girl searching for her sister, and then in Yomawari Midnight Shadows, you'll follow 2 young schoolgirls as they uncover the mysteries plaguing their hometown. You have no real combat options in this one, so you'll have to hide to stay alive. If you're looking for something strange and unique with a somewhat creepy story, make sure to check this one out. While it's on sale until August 16th, it's currently marked down 63% to just $14.99. Next up we have Yooka-Laylee. This is a single-player 3D action platformer from publisher Team 17 and it's one of my personal favorites on the list. This game was made as an homage to the classic Banjo-Kazooie series from the Nintendo 64 days. We haven't been given a proper sequel to the adventure of the Bear and Bird duo, so Team 17 brought us the next best thing. This game features some gorgeous worlds, smooth animations, and that ever-frustrating camera from the genre and era. Now this is a collectathon and there's a lot to find and collect, but it all mostly flows well together with the level designs. And of course the random grunts and sounds used to represent each character were as charming as ever. I highly recommend checking this one out before the sale ends on August 12th. You'll be able to pick it up for $9.99, which is 75% off and an all-time low. Blackbird. This is a single-player action RPG from Onion Games with a main story that should last players roughly 3 or 4 hours to finish up. This is the tale of a young girl who dies randomly and is reborn as the ominous Blackbird. The game features a darkly humorous world and gorgeous pixel art graphics. The sound though were a particular highlight. Everything in the game alters the sound in one way or another and really pulls you in. There are multiple endings for replayability and you can even unlock some extra game modes as well. This is a really interesting game and one of our recommendations for the week, so if you're interested in it, check it out before the sale ends on August 26th. It's currently marked down 50% to an all-time low of just $9.99. Alright, next we have Divinity Original Sin 2, the Definitive Edition. This is a multiplayer adventure RPG from Larian Studios and is available for up to 4 players in both online and local co-op modes. The main story is massive and could take more than 90 hours to complete, making it one of the longer games on the list and a great value. The Divine is dead and the Void approaches. Your powers are soon to awaken. Players will have to master deep tactical combat as they join up to 3 other players in battle. Now you have full character customization options and unlimited freedom to explore and experiment. You can also use AI companions if you'd prefer to play solo. This edition includes all of the enhancements and extra content as well. Make sure to give this one a look before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 30% to just $34.99, an all-time low. Alright, next up we have one of our personal favorites, Enter the Gungeon. This is a twin-stick shooter from Devolver Digital and is available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op. The main story will take more than 50 hours to complete, and again this is one of our personal favorites and a great value even at full price. The game is classified as a bullet hell dungeon crawler, and it features some of the toughest boss battles and stages in the genre. The pixel art and sound effects they used are amazing, and the music gets you pumped up to keep going. This is one of those tough but rewarding games where you get that addicted feeling of just one more run, and I got it this time. You have weapon upgrades, secrets to find, and like I said, some of the most fun gameplay in the genre. Make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on August 12th, as it's a new all-time low of just $7.49 and a 50% discount, well worth the price. Alright, next we have Hunt Down. This is a 2D action platformer from Coffee Stain Games and is available for 1 or 2 players offline, with the main story that will last roughly 6 or 7 hours or so. The game is set in the distant future where crime has filled the streets and gangs rule as cops hide in fear. It obviously immediately reminded me of RoboCop, the original. You can hunt down these criminals solo or with a friend through each of the amazing stages, fully inspired by the 80s. The pixel art and the hand-drawn animations are absolutely gorgeous to look at on the Switch as well. This is another one of our personal favorites, and it's been a little while since it was last on sale, so if you're interested, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down to just $9.99, which is again a 50% discount and an all-time low. Alright, next we have Risk of Rain 2. This is a 3D adventure game from Gearbox Publishing and is available for 1 to 4 players in both online and offline modes. Now the main story will last roughly 30 hours or so, but with the replayability you'll probably play double or triple that. In the story, players are stranded on an alien planet and must fight their way through hordes of monsters, either solo or with some friends as they try to make their way home. The game features over 12 different areas, each packed with challenging monsters and giant bosses. You can either fight to the final boss or escape to continue your run indefinitely until you feel ready for the final challenge. This game has an incredible amount of items to find and combine together, which keeps it feeling fresh. This is another one that hasn't been on sale in a while, and it's a great value, so please make sure to check it out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 60% to just $9.99. Alright, next we have River City Girls. This is a 2D beat 'em up from Way Forward and offers a main story that will last roughly 9 or 10 hours. The game is also available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op. Now this is bright and beautiful to look at on the Switch, featuring amazing pixel art graphics and of course a great soundtrack to accompany it. In the story, you play as 2 young girls as they go on a rampage across town to discover who kidnapped their boyfriends. As you make your way through the town, you'll gain new skills and wield an assortment of cool weapons, unleash cool combos, special attacks, and face off against some fun boss battles. Now the story is cheesy, but it's also hilarious, and I have to say it's definitely one of the more fun beat 'em ups that I've played in a while. The cutscenes were a treat too. Make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 30% to an all-time low of just $20.99. I'll be streaming it soon, so if you need more convincing, come by and hang out. Alright, next we have Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. This is a collection from Yacht Club Games and is available for 1 to 4 players in local co-op. The main story will last roughly 8 or 10 hours in the base game. This is the complete edition of the action-adventure game with the great gameplay, memorable characters, and 8-bit retro look that we remember. Players will run, jump, and use their shovel blade to dispose of their enemies as Shovel Knight on his quest for his lost love. The game features multiple game modes, tight controls, and of course the comedic narrative. Now the original game is amazing by itself, but Treasure Trove also includes 4 additional games as well. You get Plague of Shadows, Spectre of Torment, King of Cards, and Showdown, making this a huge value for the price and definitely worth checking out. So if you're interested, make sure to do so before the sale ends on August 12th. It's currently marked down 25% to just $29.99, but the series is also on sale, so you could also buy the games individually if you'd prefer to do that. Next we have Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse. This is an action RPG with a top-down view from Devolver Digital, available for 1 to 2 players offline, with the main story that will last players more than 15 hours. Now this is a unique game where every adventure becomes its own legend. The good and bad decisions you make, your successes and failures, all carry over to the next run and have an impact on future adventurers. This can even affect the items and upgrades you'll be able to find as well. The game is full of beautiful environments, a thumping soundtrack, and secrets to uncover all over the place. You can choose to tackle the main quest or take on any of the numerous side quests that are available as well. If you're interested in this one, make sure to pick it up while on sale until August 12th. It's currently marked down half price to just $7.49, which is an all-time low. Now this one was recommended to us by Renee over at One Crummy Gamer. It's her birthday tomorrow, so be sure to swing by her channel and give her some love. Maybe consider subscribing as she's doing some great work. Her channel is awesome, she's passionate about what she's doing, and she's been a great part of our community here, so maybe swing by and show her some love. Happy birthday, Renee. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Renee.
Next we have Sonic Mania. This is the newest 2D entry in the series and was created by a longtime Sonic fan named Christian Whitehead. The main story will last players roughly 9 or 10 hours, but you'll love every minute of it. This is the true Sonic game that fans of the franchise have been wanting and waiting for. Everything is spot on, from the music to the animations, the level design, which are full of callbacks, the boss battles, and the dialogue. Everything just feels right with this game. There's even multiplayer modes, so I'm not even sure if there's anything to complain about at all, honestly. There's even some DLC that was added later on to expand upon the game even more. So if you haven't played this one yet, make sure to check it out because it's back on sale until August 12th, marked down half price to $9.99 and matching an all-time low. Next we have the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. This is a collection of the original 3 games from Activision and has been remastered with new graphics, new animations, cutscenes, and voice acting. The total package will offer roughly 20 to 30 hours of main story gameplay, and I cannot recommend this one enough. Spyro is one of my all-time favorite franchises, and since we don't have much in the way of any new Spyro games, this remaster version was a great addition to the Switch library. These were 3D adventure titles back in the early days of the PlayStation, and at the core they're collectathons, but they are a true joy to play. I felt like a kid again when I first fired it up on the Switch. If you're interested, be sure to check it out. Before the sale ends on August 12th, it's also marked down 50% to just $19.99. Next we have Stardew Valley. This is an RPG simulation style game from Concerned Ape and is available either solo or with up to 4 players in online play. Now the game offers more than 80 hours of main story and even more for completionists. At the start, players inherit their grandfather's old farm plot in Stardew Valley and must set out with their limited supplies and makeshift tools to start a new life. You'll have to learn to craft items and live off the land while you turn this overgrown field into a beautiful home. The multiplayer mode is a blast as well. You'll be able to build together, share resources, and interact with townfolks from other people's games. Stardew rarely goes on sale, so make sure that if you're interested to check it out before the sale ends, again on August 12th. It's currently marked down 35% to an all-time low of just $9.69. Alright, next we have Undermine. This is a single-player action-adventure game from Thorium Entertainment with a main story that will last players roughly 20 or 30 hours, and again a bit longer for completionists. Players will dive deep underground to uncover the secrets that rest in the mine below them. This game blends active combat, dungeon crawling, and even throws a bit of RPG elements in as well. You'll be able to upgrade between each run to push further and further along every time. There are hundreds of items and upgrades to find and combine, challenging bosses, and cool NPCs to interact with along the way. The game is shown from a top-down view, and the graphics are absolutely amazing. I really would highly recommend this to fans of the genre. If you're interested, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 14th. It's currently marked down to just $9.99, which is half price and an all-time low. Next we have the XCOM 2 collection. These are single-player strategy RPGs from Take-Two Interactive, and they offer more than 40 hours of main story gameplay. The package includes the main campaign as well as 4 additional DLC packs and the War of the Chosen expansion as well. This gives players an additional 10 plus hours of gameplay. In XCOM 2, Earth has been taken over and is now under alien rule. It's our mission to rebuild XCOM and through the global resistance try to reclaim our world and save mankind. New players may feel the burn of the steep learning curve, but stick with it and you'll be in for an awesome ride. With all the DLC and the fact that the game is currently on sale for its lowest price, right now it's time to consider this one. If you're interested, make sure to grab up the collection for just $14.99. It's marked down 70% to August 15th, and again it's an all-time low. Alright folks, and here are some more games to consider. Nintendo's doing a big sale. There's a bunch of series sales, so please check them out while you're on the eShop, and hopefully you'll find some cool deals. Alright folks, that's going to wrap up the video for today. If you had a good time, please consider subscribing and hit that bell, so that way you'll stay up to date with our videos, but you'll also be entered in for a chance at winning one of our eShop gift cards that we do each week. All you have to do to enter is make sure to be subbed to the channel, leave a like on the video, and drop a comment down below so that I can find your name and put you on the giveaway list for next week. Alright, thank you all for watching. As always, stay safe out there and we'll let little man take us on home. Bye everyone.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!